Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, Bone. How you doing over there?
I'm good. How you doing, sweetie?
Good, good. Did you go live on your Instagram? It should
I
be
am
ready
doing.
for live.
I'm doing so right now, and it's on the way. Good morning, beautiful people. Mom, I don't know if you remember, but I got my muffin. Look at that. So,
Can
y'all,
I take
mom,
a bite? Can I take a bite?
go ahead.
It was hard to wait on you.
Oh, you got the fork and everything. You fancy. So I just got my hands. I just got my
Did
hands.
you warm it?
A little bit.
What do you think?
It's good. It's fluffy.
Yeah.
It's good. Thank you.
I took Brandon a banana nut bread muffin yesterday, y'all. And I told him we would just kind of have breakfast this morning together as we do this. Because there's some days I come here and I wonder if y'all hear my stomach. So,
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm. See, when you get this good food on me, I'm not gonna do my whole spiel. But welcome
yeah.
everybody to the end of season podcast with your beautiful, beautiful host, the lovely, formative butterfly, sipping on her coffee over there. And then my name is Brandon, also known as the Gladiator Gator. We are a mother-son duo who come here every single morning at 7 a.m. to bring you the best, most motivational, most powerful encouragements, motivations, inspirations, reading from the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. This book is something that has just been popping up everywhere in our life, giving us so many gems and treasures of great knowledge. If you haven't gotten the book and you have been here every single day, please go get the book. It is not a full, you don't get the full breadth of what's going on. You don't get the all the insights by just listening to us. You got to get your own insights. Insights, means in sights, the sights that you have inwardly. So in order to do those, they got to be yours. Read this book, read the passages, read the quotes, follow along with us every single day, and share this book with somebody else. Matter of fact, get it for somebody else if you're looking for a nice gift for someone. But the reason that we did this was an acknowledgement and celebration of African American success. In Black History Month, in the month of February, we just wanted to do it originally for the 28 days, the short days of this leap year, but ended up carrying everything over for the rest of the year. So hopefully we'll be able to do this indefinitely, at least for the rest of the year. So a little bit about this book, Daily Motivations for African American Success, will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement, of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hell, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches will last you a lifetime. So welcome again, everybody. We are live on Instagram Live. What up? Your boy is the name, man. That's beautiful. That's my boy down in Florida, man. Good to see you, Mom. Who we got on your side on Facebook and on
We
YouTube?
got Brenda Davis. Good morning to you, everyone. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Mike. Brother Mike is on there. Why don't y'all get some coffee and banana nut bread and join us for breakfast this morning? We the Breakfast Club this morning, right?
Is that what it is? You know
Yeah.
what? They never eat breakfast on there. They never eat breakfast. They
I
should eat
know they
breakfast.
should, right? They should
Hmm.
promote breakfast food.
Well, I guess a talk
Yeah.
show, you can't be
Yeah.
eating
So
on your talk show, right? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, guys,
we're
thank y'all
doing
for
it
rocking
now. We're
with us.
doing pretty well.
Not me, because it's sticky. It's kind of like mushy a little bit, but like fluffy and mushy at the same time. Mm,
Yeah, it's so good,
delicious though.
y'all. So good.
But anyway, guys, this is our 84th day. I want to say our 84th consecutive day. Is that right?
Yes, 84.
This is I can believe it, but I can't believe it. You know, you it seems like that's a big amount. Like if you would have came to us in the beginning and said, all right, 84 days from now, you guys will still be here doing it. You know, I might have believed you, but I might not have seen it this way. You know, but still with this much fire, this much kind of passion behind it, this expectation, still waking me up every single morning, waking you up. You guys have added us to a part of your routine, and we appreciate it. So we won't keep you too terribly long, Mom. If you're cool with it, I'd love to jump
Let's jump right into it.
right into the passage today. So let's go to this April the 24th. So yesterday's title was "Change." A change is coming, and we did a lot of like references, and at the end, we even referenced Sam Cooke's song "Changes" is gonna come, and saw all kinds of insights at the end, and we didn't want to keep you too long. So I hope you guys went back and read that over. Those of you who have the book and got your own insights, because there were so many that we left on the table yesterday. But today's April 24th is titled "Rush Hour." Rush Hour. And the quote comes from Bobby McFerrin, who is a singer, a famous singer, who said, "Don't worry, be happy." How many people know that song? Don't worry, be happy. So that's the quote for the day. Don't worry, be happy. And the title is Rush Hour. Excuse my voice, y'all. So the passage goes, a story is told about a group of U.S. citizens who were making their way through a remote island. They had employed a group of locals at the seaport and had informed them that they were pressed for time. The first day, they moved quickly through the countryside. The second day, they continued their relentless pace. The third morning, when they were frantically preparing for another day of rapid travel, they found the natives squatting under the trees, refusing to move. When the bewildered and helpless travelers asked why they were not ready to start, they simply said, "We shall rest today to let our souls catch up with our bodies." Our failure to take time to live actually prevents us from deriving the best from life. For workaholics, there's no end. Life consists of an endless routine of sitting at a desk, or being on duty at the station, or getting up every morning at 5:30 to catch a 6:30 express train to the city. For the workaholic, days turn into months that turn into years of the same old thing. The long commute, the mail we must answer. We should remember that we do not live for hurry and tumult. My mother was right. I can still hear her voice. Take your time, baby. Good work or good work, no good, hard, and these greatest gifts. But perhaps we can enjoy greater peace of mind if we less, or at least reduce the tension of what good is it to succeed, cannot enjoy life in the process. So today's affirmation that we usually read times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person that you're going to send this to. Rest, replenish, and revive my soul. Break. To rest, replenish, and revive my soul. And last time, today today I will take a mental health break to rest, replenish, and revive my soul. So, Mom, what you think about that? Rush hour, taking a break. You know how to take a break?
Um, hmm. I'm learning. I'm still in the process of learning that I'm doing much better. Much better.
Mm-hmm.
with being mindful of taking care of myself, stopping to rest, stepping away from it all. So rush hour, of course, this title, um, y'all know how we feel when we're in the midst of rush hour. I think we can all say that we've been there. The true rush hour with the cars, the 8 o'clock traffic, the 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock traffic. And I was noticing, and I've noticed before, but I was noticing 240, 240 East almost every day. And I remember a few days thinking, if I had to, some people need to move back out west. If I had to travel east in the afternoon, right? 240. Because every day, you guys know, no kidding, every day that I come through there going on the opposite side, it is backed up. There are accidents. There are cars that go for miles and miles and miles. And that tells me that everybody's kind of moved out east, right? A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people tried Cordova, Bartlett, Lakeland, all that. So there's a lot of people traveling that road, right? But also, Brandon, I don't know if you remember this. Um, we were traveling and we were going the opposite direction, and there was an accident on the other side. And we could see it because we were traveling opposite. But as we went, you could see the cars just going, 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 right? They're going somewhere, and to them, they think they're going to get there on time. They don't know what's ahead. They didn't know that there
Right.
was an accident. And I remember thinking, boy, when they hit that hill, when they go over and come down and see all those lights, their whole life is going to change, right? The thought process. Oh man, what's going on? They know that they're not going to get there at the time that they had planned to get there. But to make this applicable to our growing, to our transformation, if they keep going, they will get there. Maybe not on time, the time that they thought. If they detour, they will get there. But if they pull over, they will not. They will stay where they are. Now, remote island, I know that's not what this passage is about, but refusing to move. And they said, we shall rest today to let our souls catch up with our bodies. That's a knot, as we talked about untying the knot. That's a knot that we need to untie,
Right.
break into. We shall rest today to let our souls catch up with our bodies. Why? Because they know or knew that just to go on without the soul, or with the soul not at rest, what do? We make bad decisions, emotional decisions. We get in our feelings. Um, and it says our failure to take time to live. So it's not, this is telling me that it's not saying that working, life is about working. We need to work, right? To get what we need, not what we want, all those things we want. But it says our failure to take time to live in the passage, meaning that we're working too much. We're doing too much. Made me think about sitting on the porch with grandma. Everybody has a bag, one of those brown paper bags. Looking back, those were the good old days, y'all, where people are sitting, people are passing by, speaking, communicating, talking. We don't have time. Think about something that you said you wanted to do. I thought about it when reading this. When I got back from Albany from a family reunion, Sella and I, Brandon, daughter in love, we planned, and you and I as well. We planned a lunch. Let's get together this week. You know how many weeks have passed by? We're almost at the end of April. So just think about the things, Miss Brenda. Boy, I'm supposed to get with her. Leander, if he's on. And it's just before you know it,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's all you did was work. And your soul feels restless because what it needs is time, time, and connection with people outside of work. Because when we work, it's a different kind, it's a different thing. It's not true connection. I wouldn't say true. It's not that soul connecting that we need, that we thrive for. Um, let's see, what else did I have? Where it talks about days turn into months. What I just mentioned. Stella and I had not have not gotten together. Brandon, you and I have not gotten together.
Hmm.
But we've
We've seen
worked,
each other.
right? We've
We've
seen
worked
each other,
together.
but like we've not went out for that lunch where we're sitting down across from each other, connecting, having those empowering conversations like we used to do all the time.
Yeah.
And I really feel like way back when we stopped doing that, life kind of changed because when you're sitting down and you're talking, then you have time to express what you're doing, what you're going through, how you're feeling, what you're growing through, and all of that. So people are left out to their own demise, to do
Mm,
their own thing without having the conversations that generate reflection.
mm,
So this is one where we slow down a little bit, where we take the time to make sure that our soul catches up with our bodies. Because when they're out of sync, we're out of sync. Life is out of sync.
mm.
So meditate, read, walk, get out into nature. Life should not, we should not, what's it saying? We should not work to live, right? Is that how it goes?
No, we shouldn't. We
We should
shouldn't
not live to work. We
live
should
to work.
live to, right, right.
We should
So vice
work to
versa.
live,
Yeah.
or work
So,
to just help us live. Um,
right, right.
for me, are you all good, Mom?
Yeah, I have more, but turn it over to you.
No, you go ahead. I actually
No,
want to
no,
hear all
no.
of
I'm
yours.
good. I'm good. I'm good. I want to sip on my coffee.
Oh, okay, because I want to sip on my coffee, eat mine too. I've been over here. I keep looking at this. I should have been eating it more. This muffin.
While
You
I was
told me to
talking,
talk.
yeah.
um, our failure to take time to live actually prevents us from deriving the best from life. So that's one of the quotes in this passage that stuck out to me. Because we're rushing, because we don't take time for ourselves, for our needs, we're not getting the best quality of life. And it's easy to get lost and forget what we're actually working for or towards. It,
Mm.
you know, as in Florida, and I was talking to someone, I forget who it was. I think it was just a random person I had met, and it was about retiring, an outlet or something, and about how many people move to Florida just to retire. And the guy pointed out to me, he said, "Well, what do you do when you retire?" He said, "You just move next to a beach, and you sit around, read books, call family. You just kind of rest, relax on the beach, do things in nature. You don't really go out a whole lot. This, just saying that you're almost settling down." And then he pointed out the fact that it didn't cost a lot of money to do what he wanted to do, but people work their entire lives to go and to do nothing, right? When they could, I mean, and by nothing, I'm really, uh, I'm really kind of not giving it its due. They're resting, but we see that as doing nothing. We see that as, oh, they're not doing anything with their life. They should be doing this, should be doing that. Sometimes you just reflect. And it was very ironic, the fact that we work our whole lives just to move somewhere and do nothing, to
Mhm.
go retire somewhere and do nothing, when really we could have had this chill time our entire lives. And then I always think back to this, people on their death, not on their deathbed, but getting older in the years to where they're their 80s and 90s, and what are their biggest regrets and their biggest takeaways from life. And a lot of them said that they wish they would have spent more time
Mhm.
relaxing and just taking time with their family members, having those intimate conversations. They wish they would have worked less. They wish that they would not have been as stressed about money, because they always had whatever they needed whenever they needed. Even if things were rough or hard, it's really hard to remember. Like I was worried about something a year ago today. but I don't remember what it was.
Mm.
I'm sure last year on this day, I was worried about something. There's something that I had to do, was on my to-do list, that I just was like, man, I really need to get that done. But I have no idea 1 year later, um, what that. So likewise, a year from today, I likely won't know what I'm worried about today. A man named Steve Barlow told me, he was a lawyer, and I worked at the law firm with him. And he said, on the day that you die, you will likely have a to-do list.
Hmm.
Or the day you die, you will have things on your desk, papers on your desk, things that you want to do.
That's interesting.
Hey, you die, you're gonna have something that you wanted to do that day. So take a step back, breathe, and realize that wherever you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. You can be more intentional, but just being intentional doesn't mean that you have to stress, right? Rush hour, I'm reminded of the only real rush hour is the hour, the day of judgment to me. When will the hour come? And no one, Jesus said, no one knows the hour but the Father. No one knows. So why are we rushing towards an end that's in my opinion predetermined, right? So what benefits come from not rushing, Mom? I know this too well because I don't rush anyway. I I don't know if I've ever rushed in anywhere in my life. And when I do rush, I end up getting there the same time that I did if I did not rush. So I'll do like the story where of the U.S. citizens who went on this remote island and had employed the group of locals. And this to me shows a difference between people in modern times, that
Mm-hmm.
are stuck up in kind of the U.S. citizens versus the people on the island. The U.S. citizens said, we're in a rush. But then, I mean, you guys arrived on this day. You planned to rush, right? If you had plans and you arrived that day, all of you are together. You literally planned to rush. Okay, when we get there, we're gonna have to go this far this day, this far this day. Like you're planning to rush. Whereas the
Mm.
natives decided they felt that they were rushing. They just knew that they were going to the destination and they had a job to perform. But upon between the second and third day, they were squatting and chilling and sitting under the tree. And they said, what are you doing? Aren't we getting ready to go? And they said, we shall rest today to let our souls catch up with our bodies. Is that not the perfect definition of anxiety? Waiting for your soul to catch up with your body, right? Or you're displaced away from where you actually are. Isn't that anxiety where you're thinking about some future situation or circumstance? Oh, I'm going to be late, but you're not late. Wherever you are, you're right on time. And I'm not saying don't keep your word when you tell somebody that you're going to be there, but the anxiety that's associated with speeding through traffic, the anxiety that makes people life and limb to go make $16 an hour or $20, whatever it is, it ain't worth it. It could be $100, $200, $300 an hour, and you're rushing potentially to catastrophe
Mm.
for that little bit of money. And at the end of the day, when you have that accident, when you're going around someone in the emergency lane and you hit something and pop your tire, or you're rushing so much that you never change the oil or get your tags. it's it's speaking of myself.
Yes.
Got a new truck, y'all. I gotta get the tags and stuff situated. But rushing because of other things to do, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not paying attention to you. And you can't give to anyone else until you first are full yourself. You can give out of your abundance. Charity is out of your abundance, not out of your own poverty. You know? Then the first charity is given to you and your family. So
Mm.
take care of your needs. The best charity is given to your family. Whether it be time, whether it be money, whether it be whether it be patience or even just a smile. That's charity. It's hard to smile when you're rushing. Have you ever seen somebody smile while they're rushing? It just seems weird. It seems like it's almost impossible. You're rushing around trying to get this, and someone tries to make you have just a pure human moment. When you're rushing, do you see your kid at the door who wants to give you a hug, right? Who wants to say, wants to have a moment with you before you leave, and you rush out the door? What if that's your last moment? What if you don't come back? Was it worth it? Was it worth the destination? Right. So what I'm saying is we're missing these precious moments out of life. Our failure, it says, to take time to live actually prevents us from deriving the best out of life. There's a difference between existing and living. There's a lot of live bodies and dead souls out there. A lot of live bodies and absent souls. So I like that quote from the natives saying that we're gonna sit and wait for our souls to catch up. That sticks with me. So, Mom, I don't have a terrible much. I feel like that is a mental health break. I'll say that, a mental health break. This may be the earliest time I've actually, because I know this was published in 1993. I've never read a book that said mental health break published before this. I thought that was more of a recent a recent kind of thing, saying, "Oh, I need a mental health break," because largely, especially in the Black community, mental health is a taboo subject, right? If you go to a therapist seeking counseling, sometimes you're looked at as crazy, right? But again, that's you taking time for yourself, taking time to rest, taking time to reflect, taking time to contemplate, taking time to share. There's we don't do this, right? But if you notice, when you look on the not Discovery Channel, that's kind of old school, but um, when you watch animals, specifically monkeys and primates, they have these moments where they're not they're picking at each other's hair, right? They're picking parasites off, grooming each other, picking parasites off, and eating the little bugs, right? And sometimes they're just picking. There's nothing that they're actually picking up. I found out from David Attenborough that sometimes they don't even pick up a parasite. They're just going through each other's hair and acting like they're putting little bugs in their mouth, right? But they do. Why would they do this? Why would they fake it? Because there is a social quality to grooming each other, from just sitting down and taking a moment, and it relaxes them to groom each other, to pick, and kind of go through each other's hair. And I think about, when people do each other's hair, when men go to the barbershop, and how much relief we get just from sitting in a chair and getting lined up or shaved down, or for a lady in the conversations that you might have at the beauty shop, right? How many friends have you made from the people that do your hair, Mom?
A lot.
You know, there's an intimacy to that, to sitting down, not being able to move, and having an intimate conversation with another person. There's something that is human about that. And when we deny that time, when we deny our social needs, we become less of ourselves, and we reap less on the intimacy and the sweet moments of life. So take a mental health break today. And that's pretty much all I have, Mom. What you got?
So Brandon, the part here where it says mankind was never assuredly mankind was never meant to beat out his or her life in hurry and turmoil, right? So if we weren't, you guys, what are we doing? And what has that and what is that causing us? And I want to break down the word rush. Think about it, right? And also think about, if you've been here a while with us, rocking the story about the two men, one struggling, they were in the river, Brandon, I think, and one was fighting because they were fighting the waves. The other
Oh yeah,
relaxed.
the fall in the
Right,
river.
right. The other relaxed and was able to get to the destination. He did not drown, right? Because he relaxed. So imagine when we're in a state of rush. Rush is to move with urgent haste, dash towards someone or something in an attempt to attack or capture, right? And when you're doing that, we're in that state. Many of us, because that's all we're doing. We're working and we're going to a place, rushing to a place because, truth be told, most of us don't leave in time enough to be able to drive the speed limit,
Mm, mm.
right? And that in itself puts your body, your mind in a state of something, because what you were, and you're rushing to a place that you don't even want to be at in most cases, because most of us are not doing what we really love. So imagine
Right.
you are rushing to go to a place that you don't like, you don't want to be at, to buy things that you don't need, to buy things that you don't get an opportunity to enjoy because you are working for the things that you now have purchased that bring
To
you no,
impress people,
that you don't even
to
know or
impress
like.
people, and don't know or like you.
Right. If we did inventory of our lives, say, why am I working? Why do I have to work this much? Truth be told, it's not for the things that you need. So, was
Mm,
that new car worth it? Because you're just going to be driving it for the most part to work and from work. Because mentally you're tired because you're rushing to get there to buy things that you don't need. So, do the inventory. Do the inventory. I've heard people paying $800-900 for a car. What for a car? That's
a
not
month.
including insurance, right? So we're in a state of anxiety, I guess, Brandon, you would say, from
Hmm.
this. We wonder where all of these illnesses are coming from. Your mind, your soul cannot rest even when you are
Dis-ease.
asleep. Dis-ease, right? So we got to start. And this part about my grandmother was right. I can still hear her voice. Y'all, can't y'all hear some elderly person in your family? Take your time, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time, baby.
Wow.
Take your time, baby. Can't you hear that? And does it not bring meaning and rest to your soul just to hear that? So
Take
when
your
you
time.
leave for anywhere, to go to work, to go to church, tomorrow, today, take your time. Leave in time enough where you could just drive the speed limit, relax, turn the radio off, because that doesn't help. The things that we hear on there. So
Mm-hmm.
our first job, you guys, is, and maybe only is to live, have life, and have it more abundantly. Be life. Be life. How can you be life if you're constantly in a state of stress and rushing everywhere all the time? You can barely walk by your if you have young children, you can't even stop. So often Zolly and Tupac, look, grandma, look, because to them it's new. It's those simple things. We don't see it
Yeah.
anymore because we're toxic. We got all these toxins in our body. The rushing, the anxiety, and throwing no shade on anybody who has to do this, but it has to be better, you guys. We have people that take medication to thrive through the day, to be able to get through the day, and then they need it to be able to go back to sleep at night. And some of these are children. When I worked in the school system, I was just blown away with how much medication we give our children and how I saw them become dummies because the medication wore them down so badly. When sometimes all we need is just to rest, reflect. Reminds me when I passed by the people at Ketchum Lake the other day, and I looked over last Saturday, and I thought, wow, they look so at peace. So imagine these people sitting under the tree and refusing to. It said refusing. No, we got to sit down and we got to let our soul catch up with our bodies, because they knew the power of the oneness of that,
Mm.
the power that brings. Because most of us get up and leave for work, and our soul stays at the house
Where we really want to be.
where we really want to be.
but that's where peace of mind is. You know, I
Right.
think in the last couple sentences towards the end of the passage, it says, let's see if I can remember without opening it up. It says, perhaps there's more peace of mind if we strive less,
Right.
or at
Hmm.
least, have less tension in our attempt. It says, or something like that.
Our
Let's
effort
see. In
and
our
our
effort,
effort.
in our effort. So maybe there's more peace and less tension, right? Less tension, peace of mind, not being tense. Um, and it's not saying that you shouldn't go for your goals, but being rigid, you'll break. Being flexible, you'll bend and still be there and be alive and there for the next day. And one of the things that I learned in training for fights and doing martial arts is every day when you're training, you don't want to rush the training. You don't want to do everything hard and fast because you're gonna get injured. It's better. There's been times where I've gone, you know, a bunch of rounds, and then you know, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done. And then someone says, hey, you know, I know practice is over, but you want to do one more round, two more rounds? I'll be the one that say it, and that'll be the round where we get injured. We done had this whole training session where nobody got hurt, right? And we're done. We done got water and everything, and it's time to go. And somebody says, hey, let's get a couple more. And you know, and we go even harder then. And I'm not saying that we rushed, but that we did more than what we came there for. We did more than was required. So when we're leaving somewhere, we're not required to have worry and anxiety accompany us, even if you're running behind the time when you wanted to be there, right? What difference is it going to Delvin? What's up, bro? I'm surprised to see Delvin Tubbs, man. I love that brother. We haven't talked in a while, but we went to college together, and we just hadn't seen each other in a while. Delvin, please hit me up, brother. You made me lose track of what I was talking about, man. That's a singing man right there, man. I know you still singing, Devin.
Devin, you ought
But
to come on and sing a change gonna come for us today. You ought to sing us
hey,
on out.
he can do it. He I don't know if he remembers this, but he sang that song in my apartment one day. Back when me and Zorzi used to live together. Delvin came over and he actually it was that exact song. I don't know if he remembers that.
Really?
Yep.
Devin, you ought
Yep.
to sing us on out this morning. You hit bring it up so we can bring you in and you can
We're gonna bring him
sing a
in.
change. He sang that exact song.
That
Are
because
you serious?
he's a very soulful singer. Yeah, I mean, but you got to understand, Delvin. Delvin was singing all the time. I didn't mean to make the show about you, bro, but Delvin be walking around. We'll be going to class, you know, walking down the hallway or walking down Presidential, where all the students go to their classes, and you'll hear something in the background. You're like, oh yeah, that's Delvin. He could be 200 yards away,
All
and
right,
that man is
Delvin,
singing.
hit bring it up. Isn't that interesting, y'all? But that was the song that he sang, the one that we were talking about yesterday and that I mentioned. That's what we mean by this book. This book is just, I'm telling you, Dennis Kimbro had to be connected in a very spiritual way. He was sitting up under many trees.
Mm,
He took time. He took mental health time. And as we work to get out of here, Brandon, I met a young lady she has a job that allows them to call in for a mental break. And in some
mm.
instances, they will support whatever it is you want to do that day. So she got to go horseback riding that her job paid for.
Wow.
Imagine that. Imagine being able to not have to call in and lie, I'm sick.
Mm.
But you know what? I just need my soul to catch up with my body right now. I'm not sick. I don't have to lie. I'm not sick. Nobody's dying. It's just because we will call with those stories, right? But imagine having that kind of job to where you can call in and say, I just need a day. I might be able to come in at a half day, but right now I can't do it.
What's maternal leave right now in America? Isn't it like 4 weeks or something?
Tomorrow, come back. Yeah, it's like 4 to 6 weeks. In Germany, it's 6 months.
6 months, and not only that, but they have paternal leave for
Right.
fathers.
For the father as well. Yeah. So look, and,
Like
and the
you go
things
have
that
a
are
baby.
happening here is what we've allowed.
Yeah, you allow them to say, okay, when you have a child, ladies, when you have
6
a
weeks
child,
old.
You have a child. That child is 4 to 6 weeks old. Ain't been in the world 2 months yet. And your job is saying, it's about that time
Yeah.
for you to get back to work.
Get
Man,
back
to
to work.
hell with that.
To support the things that you don't need. That you don't need. You don't need a two family household with a new baby. You don't need a 5 bedroom, 3 car garage house. So you are working, parents are going to work and paying 75-80% of their
Daycare
salary goes towards daycare. How
and
stupid
housing.
is that?
Mhm.
By the time you stay at home, whether it's the man or the woman, stay at home, take care of your own damn children.
Say it again.
And you're not paying gas to get there. You're not stressed out. So now you are breaking generational curses from having somebody else raise your child with their trauma and your child dealing with your trauma. No wonder our
And,
children are Fruit Loops.
and the anxiety of when you come home, stressed. I can't imagine. I was talking to my wife. I just tell her, she said, she can't imagine going to work. And think about this, because we were talking actually about some people that we knew. I'm not going to mention any names that are married, but just are not on the same page. I mean,
Not even
if
in the
you
same book.
seriously, I mean, to the point to where, okay, so I'm gonna just give a wide example. Contractors come in there. I'm the contractor building something for them. I've been talking to the man, but I also know the wife. The man is like, man, she wants to look like this and like this. So, but I'm, this, and how it looks and everything, and getting it situated with the neighborhood and all that stuff. And then, so talk to her for a second. So I talked to her. She's saying something different than he's saying. They in the same house, paying half on it. He paying half of the cost for the renovations or for the building. She paying half the cost. He wanted one way, she wanted another way. They getting in arguments about how it should be, which throws off the person that's building it for him, right? Because you're getting different. You're thinking they're all on one accord, but they're saying two different things to each other, and one is upset with the other. By the end of it, it's just dysfunction, and they're both going to work.
Mm.
So they're both going to work. And when one's at work, I'm talking to one and getting one thing from one person. Then when the other goes to work, I'm talking to that person. So they're just on two different pages. And so I can't imagine. I was talking, me and my wife were talking, and she said, "Well, I can't imagine the stress of a woman having to go to work, right, and then come home, and then being expected to cook, then being expected to clean, then being expected to do this, that, and the third. And not only that, but then also to take direction, if you're a conventional family, from the man, that the man is leading the family, right? So you're saying I'm putting 50% of everything on the table and I'm cooking, cleaning, doing the clothes, washing your drawers, and you still want to tell me what to do? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like it can be difficult for families even to stay together. It's not a conducive environment if everybody's gone and then you all come home to all these other responsibilities to do, and you guys are out working, and the kids. That's not even mentioning raising children, educating the children, being there for them. So if I mean you made this you pointed this out to me, and this has never left my mind, Mom. You said, look at how stressed the women look on the way to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's a difference on the face of the men and the women. Next time you guys are in rush hour traffic, do me a favor and look at the male drivers to your left and right and the
Right.
female drivers to your left and right.
Right.
The
Brandon, that
female,
came from me looking over one day. I was on my way home on Germantown Parkway, and I looked over, and this has been, oh gosh, y'all, probably 20 years. I don't know. It's been a very long time. I looked over, and this lady looked so tired and
mm,
detached. And there was a kid in the back of the car. So I just thought, some of the things we have been conditioned to think that we need as women goes against every fiber that we were created to be.
Your nature.
Right. Every fiber. Because we're different as night and day, period. And I'm not a man. I finally got out of that stage. I'm not going to be in rush hour thinking I'm a man. I want to be a man. I cannot do it. I'm passing you a jar now. Here, can you open these peanuts for me?
Right?
I'm so soft and delicate. Can you open this for me, please?
Now, how crazy would
And
it
all I
be,
got to do is do this, right? But please, can you open this?
Mama? But how crazy would it be for you to have this big old jar that's hard to open? How crazy would it be for a lady to be like, nope, I don't want no man to help me. I'm trying to
I
get
don't
it
need
open.
to.
I
Yeah,
don't. When they sit there
yeah,
and take you 20 minutes to open, and here I go. There's
right,
there's things that I'm better at to do that I can alleviate you.
right,
There's things that she's better at than me to where she can alleviate me.
right.
But if we don't know ourselves enough, we can't, first off, see the blind spots, see the gaps, much less fill them,
So, what
with
are
each
you
other.
guys rushing for? What are we rushing for? And will you take the time today? Will you find a tree to sit under, or your porch, your front porch, back porch? When have you just enjoyed the space that you go out and work for? Turn the TV off, put you some soft music on,
Hey,
and just enjoy your space, your time. I have a war room, a little closet here that's my war room. The air in it is so
what's a
different.
war room, Mama? Some people don't know what a war room is.
They better.
I mean,
When you go in at war and pray, meditate, think, read, just sit. I don't go in there with my shoes on. And I remember Brandon, over at Cordova, you came
at the
one. You
mosque.
remember calling me and asking me, can you come and sleep in the war room? Could you sleep the night in there? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep, yep.
So
The
so
war.
the
I'm
war room
telling you. So
is
and I was like, sure. And it's surrounded. I have the circles with the names on it of people, so I don't forget to pray who I said I'm going to pray for.
yeah,
And it's just beautiful. Create you a space if you don't. And I believe we have a closet. Everybody has a closet that needs to be cleaned out of stuff that we will never use again.
yeah. So
Do it.
y'all who don't know what a war room is, a war room is a room that's designated. So my mother was using it as a room that's designated just for prayer, reflection, meditation. There's no technology in this room. She's written names on the walls of people who needed prayer, who were going through something, people that she was thinking about, whether it be me or family or my friends. If I had a friend that had something going on, I'd be like, Mom, we add this person to the prayer list? And it just be somebody's name that we put on the wall, that when we're in that room and we're looking around after we're done praying, we're saying, okay, this person needs a prayer. We can sit there and reflect about that person, or
Mhm.
um, uh, reflect amongst ourselves and see things that we normally wouldn't see with all the weapons of mass distraction that might be
Right.
around us, with in technology and life and things. Just kind of tuning yourself out, um,
To tune in.
to tune in to
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
right?
So y'all
So
try it. Brandon, you need to get with your friend. What's his name?
Delvin Tubbs.
Delvin, come sing for us tomorrow. Sing us out tomorrow. Or sing us in. How about that? Get with Brandon and let's work it out. They can't shut
Yeah,
us down if he's singing, right?
right, not at all. But Delvin, I'm not on Facebook anymore, brother. But I think we're linked on Instagram. So please hit me up. If not, man, I'm gonna try to find you. We're gonna have to get you on here to sing us something one, and we're gonna have to get you up early.
I can send him
But yeah,
your
man, it'll be
number
good
on
to connect with
Facebook. If that's okay. I can send him your
you. Yeah,
number
yeah,
on
that
Facebook. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we'll do that. All right, Brandon, let's work to bring it to a close. I gotta
All
jump out of
right.
here.
Well, same here, y'all. I
Don't
appreciate y'all
rush
so much
today,
for
you
rocking with
guys.
us again. Don't rush, as my mother said. Do as my mother tells you. She's really good at telling you what to do. She says it in the best of ways. I was actually talking to somebody about you yesterday, Mom. Um, how you tell us what to do. How you tell everybody what to do. A little. You kind of become, wherever you are, you're the mama of the situation. So y'all do, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You know,
Out of
actually,
love. But that's
I
part
know.
of my
Let me tell you
assessment.
something.
That's
Let me tell
part
you something.
of my assessment, Brandon, that I do, and I mean it from love. I really do. I do. I do. I try to make it, I don't know, easy for you
Well,
to do what you need to, because what
you
you
said
ought to do, you
I
should do, and what
mean
you should
well.
do, you ought to do.
I mean well. No, it's all good.
Rush to take a mental break today. Rush to do that. How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was what was I was gonna say something about you, mom, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Y'all, I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all being with us, being there for us, and rocking here with us on the 84th day straight for the end of the season podcast. Y'all come back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Time, where we go through daily motivations for African American success. So we'll end today's show the same way we end all of them, with a reading of the title, the quote, and 3 readings of the affirmation. So if you came in late, go back on YouTube on In This Season podcast and watch the rest of this show. It will be there in just a few minutes. But today's title on April 24th was Rush Hour. And the quote was from Bobby McFerrin, the singer, who said, "Don't worry, be happy." And the quote, or the affirmation for today, that we read 3 times is, "Today I will take a mental health break to rest, replenish, and revive." Again, "Today I will take a mental health break to rest, replenish, and revive my soul." Last time, say it out loud, or if you said it out loud, say it inwardly. "Today I will take a mental health break to rest and replenish and revive my soul." So, as the natives said, let your soul catch up to your body. Rest from the threat of anxiety. Don't do anything in anxiety. Nothing. Okay. Love y'all so much. We'll come back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Far From Home Chronicles, AD, appreciate you. Delvin Tubbs, um, uh, your boy, I appreciate you. Everybody that's been on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube, thank you. Please share, subscribe, and like this video. And we'll be back tomorrow for another, the 85th day of the In This Season podcast, with daily motivations for African American success. Peace.